In this video, we're going to take a look at the new look of Google Drive. You may have noticed that Google Drive has been making some changes over the last few months, and you may have decided to switch over and use the new Drive, or you may still be using the old Drive interface. On the right side of the screen here, I have an account open that is still using the old Drive interface. And on the left side of the screen, I have an account that's open using the new Drive interface. In this video, I'm going to point out some of the differences between old Drive and new Drive. So here we are in old Drive, and we have the Create button. We can upload files. We know where my drive is. We have access to Shared with Me, and so on. We're very familiar with this interface. If you look over here on the left, you can see the changes that Drive has gone through. So no longer do we have a Create button. Over here we have a New button, and all of the ability to create things as well as upload files has been moved underneath this new button. So you can create docs, sheets, slides, and all of your other things are listed there as well. You can also upload files or folders using the new button. On the old version of Drive, we have Shared with Me, and we know that those are documents that have been shared with you. In the new version of Drive, Shared with Me becomes Incoming. And again, it's the same thing as Shared with Me, only it's now called Incoming. And with the new interface, what we see is these documents are divided by when they have been shared with you. So we can see documents shared with me this week, documents shared with me last week, and older documents. And again, you'll see a picture of the person who shared the document with you, their name, the time, and what that document is. So this is old, Shared with Me, and new, you're going to have Incoming. Those will be documents that have been shared with you. You still have the ability to look at your recent documents, starred documents, and documents that are in the trash. On the old Drive, you also had the ability to go to More and look at some other additional items. All of those options will be listed under here right now. So if we go back to My Drive, you'll also notice that the interface for My Drive has changed. So depending on how you sorted your documents in the old Drive, your new Drive is sorted with the folders listed at the top. And if you want to see documents that are not contained in folders, you need to scroll down underneath your folder list. Again, if you have folders contained within My Drive, if you click the arrow next to My Drive, that will expand that list and you'll be able to see all of your folders. To open a folder, you now need to double click on that folder in order to open it. So over here in this view, if we click on a folder once, it's not going to open it. In order to open the folder, you'd need to double click on it to open that folder up. In the new version of Drive, you do have some options for how your Drive looks. If I scroll over to the right side, I can either choose a list view or a grid view. If I turn grid view on, that is going to show me a picture of each of the folders and then the files that I have in my Drive. So I can look at it grid view or a list view. You can sort based on when it was last modified, when you last edited it, when you last opened it, or based on name. The information or the details, you can either turn that on or turn that off. I find that I like to leave that closed, but this does give you a snapshot of the documents that are in your Drive and what's been happening to those documents. So you can go ahead and close that, and then again you have the settings that you can access and change. Now that's kind of a brief overview of the new look to Drive. You will also be noticing that when you go to open a Google Sheet or a Google Slide or a Google Doc, it's going to take you different places. So if you were to go to sheets.google.com, rather than going into your Drive, it's going to come into this new Sheets interface, which is just going to show you a list of your sheets. If you wanted to create a new sheet, you would click the plus sign down in the lower right-hand corner. Likewise, if you go to slides.google.com, it's going to come into the Slides interface rather than going into Drive, and to create a new presentation, you would click on the Create New Presentation icon located in the lower right-hand corner. Now, eventually, all of you will be switched over to the new Google Drive interface. But if you're like me and you want to try the new things out as soon as they become available, if you are still in old Drive, you can actually change that right over right now. So in old Drive, if you scroll over to the right and you go to your settings, you will see an option to experience the new Drive, and that will switch you to the new interface. Keep in mind, within the next couple of weeks, everyone will be switched over to the new Google Drive interface.